Hey Rangers fans, have you joined the Rangers Network? If not, now's the time. It's easy and free to subscribe. Get your phones out. Text the word Rangers to 42828 to stay in touch with all the latest Rangers news. Want that again? Text the word Rangers to 42828. Go Rangers!
Welcome to Inside Rangers Football. I'm your host, Brant Freeman. Alongside me is Smithson Valley head coach Larry Hill. The Rangers are 0-1 in 27 6A play, losing a hard-fought battle against Steele this past Friday, 24-17 at Ranger Stadium. Coach, an intense game the entire 48 minutes. No team led by more than 7. There were 5 lead changes on Friday, and a game that came down to the wire. How did you appreciate the way that your team handled that kind of environment and that kind of game?
Well, it had the feel, and I think the crowd would agree, not just the teams, but it had the feel of a deep in the playoffs game.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterfinal, semifinal, final type game. Not necessarily, not just the caliber of play, but just the atmosphere. A lot of noise, a lot of big crowd, a lot of back and forth action, as you said, and a lot of both teams not necessarily getting their way all the time. Sometimes you roll over people and everything works, and now you build up a false sense of security. Not so much in a game like that. You're going to have to bang around in there on really in every phase of the game and pick your moments and make a run. And we were disappointed with the outcome because we felt like there's another play here or there on either side of the ball could have went the other way, but. We're not throwing horseshoes. We're not trying to get close. You got to make the plays to win, and hats off to Steele. They made them when they had to.
Steele opened the scoring with a 46-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. You were able to get a big play of your own in the second quarter, a 70-plus yard touchdown pass from Adkins to Trevon Merrick-Woodard. To that point, your offense really hadn't done a whole lot, but you get that big home run play. Did that serve as a momentum boost for your football team?
I think so. It sparked the crowd, sparked our team, and when you play a top caliber defense like theirs, it's going to be kind of, bump into some walls and back up and try another door till you finally find something. And that seemed to get us going. While we certainly didn't go up and down the field on them the rest of the night, I think we were, from that point forward, able to find some things and give us a chance to move the ball and give us a chance to win the game.
You and I talk a lot about your kicking game, but we actually have yet to really talk this season about actual kicks. And at the end of the first half, you're able to hit your first field goal of the year, a 40-yarder connected by Mason Reed. Just how significant was it to see that ball go through the uprights?
Well, it is. It number one gave us the lead going in at the half, as you mentioned. Gives us takes a little pressure off play calling, knowing you have that in your hip pocket on third down. If you don't make it, you got a great opportunity to get 3 points. And really, both of our kickers are sophomores, and they're like most sophomores. They're rounding into form. But I thought his kickoffs were good. The field goal, as you mentioned, and for the second week in a row, we've made all of our extra points. And it's not just the kickers. Our deep snapping situations improved. Our hold, our coverage is just like the rest of our teams getting better and better, and needs to if we're going to get where we want to go.
Fast forward to the fourth quarter, and you're down 16-10. And you're able to piece together an 11-play, 70-yard drive.
Right.
Considering the caliber of opponent, the moment of that particular game, was that the most impressive drive you've seen your team put together this season?
Probably so, because as you mentioned, what was on the line, district game, who we're up against, top caliber opponent, and the gravity of the situation. It's tense. We're going to do it now, we're not going to do it. And made some key throws, some key runs, some things that hadn't been working so well. Suddenly the dam burst a little bit and it went well. And so, those are the kinds of things you take away from a game because the obvious thing is you didn't win.
Mm-hmm. Steele was able to come up with a drive of its own late in the fourth quarter, taking the lead with 2 minutes to go. But, you look back at the game, and it looks like your defense really made Steele work for its points. Nothing really came easy. How much did you appreciate that?
Well, that's, anytime you play a team, you got to try to stop what they do best and make them do something else. And, they run the ball very, very well, both with their running back and their quarterback, and their short, quick passing game is pretty lethal. And we tried real hard to take those two things away and force them to do other things. Now, you try to do that every week with some success and sometimes not, but I thought it was our best defensive performance to date. Anytime you're stopping the run, you've got a chance to win, and for the most part, we did that. the one 40-some-odd yard touchdown run notwithstanding. So we're getting better in that area as well.
Well, again, a very intense game this past Friday in the district opener. A lot of big plays for the Rangers. Let's take a look at a few of them.
Let's go see them. Our first big play is our first offensive touchdown. Trayvon Merrick, who most of you know is a defensive back and a kick returner, is in the game at wide receiver. You can see he has a circle around him. The design of the play has he and our inside receiver, Edwin Martinez, both running in or post routes. And then our quarterback will decide which one to throw to based off the safety's reaction. As the play unfolds, you can see they both make their cuts. You can barely see the safety at the top of the screen or at the left of the screen, taking the inside receiver, so the throw comes out. Ball comes dropped in there perfectly by Josh. Trayvon makes a catch, is able to break the ankle tackle and go the distance. Got us started, tied the game up, kind of gave us a spark. From the end zone, you can see it again as it unfolds. You can see number 15 in the middle of the field, the safety, kind of leaning to our left somewhat. Get great protection, a little run fake. You can see he's got a nice cup to throw in there. Martinez takes out the safety, and then we throw and catch to Trayvon, 79 yards, I believe it is, for a touchdown. Our second big play involves a defensive player. Jack Gibbons, our middle linebacker, is circled here. They're down in the red zone, have an opportunity to score on third down. Jack's going to make a big interception here. They motion out, trying to pull him outside. You can see Jack looking at the quarterback's eyes. They're trying to hit the slant or post route in there behind him. As the throw goes, Jack elevates, trying to throw it over him. Jack 6'3", picks it off and ends the drive, gives us the ball back, gives us some defensive momentum. From the rear, you can see it. There's Jack with the arrow on him in the middle, keyed in on the quarterback. Snap comes, we get a little bit of a rush. Jack's eyes are on his eyes, so he's reading the quarterback's intentions. Gets right in the throwing lane, elevates and picks it off, snuffs out one of the Steele drives. Right. Our third big play is after their third touchdown. Trayvon Merrick comes up and blocks the kick straight from the middle of the field. We're going to get a rear angle here and let you see how that all unfolded. There's Trayvon, number 44, and then to the right, you can barely see him in a stance, is Brandon Arnold. They're going to work a nice little in and out scheme on the guard. As the ball is snapped, Brandon goes into the guard, into the outside, and draws the block. And as he does, Trayvon's able to get into that gap to the inside. Well executed stunt by Brandon, which allows Trayvon to do what he does and allows us to only trail by 6. And later we're able to score, kick the extra point, and take a 1-3 lead. And those are our plays of the week.
And Coach, that last one, a blocked extra point for your football team. We were talking about the kicking game earlier. Right. You guys have really found a way to get in there and block some field goals and extra points your first 3 games.
Well, that's 3 in 2 weeks. And as we mentioned, that held the lead to 6 and not 7. And when we go down and score later and kick our extra point, could have been the difference in the game. So, you play 150, 60 plays a game for the right to execute in the 3 or 4 that are going to make the difference. The problem is you don't ever know when those 3 or 4 are going to be. So you got to play hard and make those kinds of plays all the time, and that was a big play.
Well, that's a wrap on Steele. We're going to take a break here at Inside Rangers Football. Coming up in just a bit, we're going to have your senior moments and this week's Little Men. We are back in just a moment.
Carpooling with Coach. You're up early to coach those Rangers, and we're up early to make great smiles. What a great idea.
I agree. You guys do the driving. Gives me a little time to watch some game film.
You mind if we play a little bit of music this morning? Hey, Coach, that was so much fun. What time should we be here to pick you up?
About the time the Rangers wore red.
Rangers fans! Have you joined the Rangers Network? If not, now's the time. It's easy and free to subscribe. Get your phones out. Text the word Rangers to 42828 to stay in touch with all the latest Rangers news. Want that again? Text the word Rangers to 42828. Go Rangers!
Welcome back to Inside Rangers Football. Brant Freeman with head coach Larry Hill. But right now we're going to turn things over to our very own Emily Wick, who has this week's senior moment.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Brant. I'm here with Zane, Kate, and Nick. And boys, you know the routine. Get your phones out, text your mama, tell her you love her. All right, guys. In football, there's a lot of teamwork. So I'd like to see how well y'all actually work together. Have y'all ever heard the song Row, Row, Row Your Boat?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to do a little something fun with that.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat.
Oh wait, no, cut. Okay, Zane, so you just keep singing it.
Oh,
so
okay.
it goes, right?
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
Okay, so we'll try again. So Zane, you go, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream, right? And you're starting it, so y'all are never in the same spot of the song, okay? Zane, can you spell hippopotamus backwards?
No. No.
Forwards.
You want to give it a try? Let's see.
S-U-O-P-P-I. No, I'm not. Yeah.
Nick, do you have any idea who Andy Griffith is?
No, ma'am, I do not.
You don't. None at all.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint and see if this. Do 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 do. No? Oh wow.
Wait, so I start, right? He says
As
merrily?
soon as he sings row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, you start. As soon as he says stream, you start. And you have to block each other out so you stay where you're supposed to be. I'm gonna tell y'all a joke. What do you call a sad coffee? A depresso. Right. All right. Any of y'all have a great talent?
I know Zane does.
Zane,
I'm a lifeguard.
you're a lifeguard.
I am.
Where do you lifeguard?
In Lookout Canyon,
Okay.
off of 281.
Very cool. Have you ever had to save anyone's life?
I have. I saved one yesterday, actually.
Oh, wow. What happened?
A little boy, he jumped in without his floaties, and I had to jump in and save him because he went straight to the bottom.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad you were there. Good job. A hero on and off the field.
Rangers. Documentary. Versatile. The second part one more time.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
This is the hardest thing. This is harder than boot camp.
This is harder than boot camp. Okay. Any special talent?
The only talent I guess I would have is the only thing I'm good at would be protecting Josh, which sometimes we don't do very well. But for the most part, I'd say we're pretty talented.
That's a very good talent. That's an important talent.
I'd like to think that.
Josh appreciates that, I'm sure.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I love you, Josh.
Nick, I hear you're really good at something. Can you share with us what that is?
I can make a pretty odd noise.
Oh, pretty odd noise. What is that?
Oh, no.
I can't do it while I'm laughing.
Okay, everybody serious. Wipe it off. Okay, I won't look.
You want me to just do it?
I just want you to do it. Do it again. Nick, when does that noise come in handy?
Just
scaring children at the movies.
Oh, well, I guess.
You're terrible. What is?
So did any of y'all play Pokemon Go?
I do.
Oh, you do. And who is it that you've collected that's like your prize Pokemon?
You remember the name of it? It's like a little cat thing that can turn into a whole bunch of other ones.
Okay.
No, it's not. Yeah, that one, Eevee. There we go.
Eevee. Oh, I like Eevee.
a
Who are you trying to catch?
Just an army of Eevees.
An
That's all I
army
care
of
about.
Eevees. Okay. Makes sense.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Merrily,
Row,
merrily,
row, row
merrily,
your boat.
merrily, life is but a dream.
Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Good job, guys. This is excellent teamwork.
So bad. You nailed it, dude.
Well, thanks, guys. Oh, wait. Is that an Eevee? Coach Brant, back to you.
The question I've been wanting to ask Coach Hill ever since we started Inside Rangers football is whether or not he could tell the difference between a Greninja, a Mewtwo, or a Charizard.
Yeah, my 57-year-old brother and 85-year-old dad and I were out doing Pokemon the other day, and I didn't know about any of that, but my dad coached me up on it, as you can imagine.
Those are great, calls for audibles, by the way. You just have Josh Atkins out there call out Charizard, the defense is not going to know what's coming.
Yeah, nor will our coaches. So I don't know if I'm ready to hand that over to him yet, calling out something I don't know what it means, but time's passed me by.
Well, that feels like an opportune time to now kick things over to our next segment, this week's Little Men.
Today's Little Men segment concerns the punt team, and most specifically, the protection for the punt team. A lot of times when a punt team goes out there, people pay a lot of attention to how far the punt goes, or how good the snap is, or do we make a tackle after the ball is received on the other end. Today's more basic than that. The guy's protecting the punter, giving him adequate time to catch the snap and get a clean punt off. How's that done? Who knows who to block who? What if they blitz 5 people to one side? What if they bring 10? What if they bring 6? If I block him, no, I thought you blocked him. It can be very confusing. You have to have simple rules, and guys players have to execute it. Andy Cox, who's our special teams coordinator today, is going to take us through punt protection, just a basic overview of how that's done. So, Coach, take us to the board and show us a few things, and then we'll go to live game tape.
As Coach Hill said, we have basic rules to block different looks for us. In this look here is 8-man pressure, 4 to each side. So we have 4 men designated to block these 4 on this side, and then 4 guys designated to block 4 on this side. If they were to drop a few men out, we have rules that would help us, so we have free men. So now one of these men over here on our side is free to go based on our rules.
So do I cover, or do I block, or do I block then I cover? Let's go to game tape and look at some of that in action. This is our team punting just directly at you in the screen here in a playoff game a year ago. The opponent, Harlingen, is only rushing 3 players to each side. So Coach Cox, what does that mean for our blockers?
Since they're only rushing 3 to each side, we will have some free release guys. As you can see here by the telestration, our up backs will be the free release guys as well as a snapper.
So we got 3 blockers to each side, and we have some people who don't have to block anyone. The ball is snapped. They release right now. Great protection. The ball's away, and off goes the coverage. Our next look is a little bit different. This is a playoff game a year ago as well. You can see as the thing, we have actually 5 rushers to the left, 4 rushers to the right. So in a case like this, as Coach Cox was saying, now we have a blocker for each man. No one gets to free release, but as the ball snapped, you can see it unfold. All the Reagan rushers, I believe that's Reagan we're playing, are blocked. The ball's kicked, he has adequate protection, and now we go and cover. A different example. Now we have 4 rushers to the right, 4 to the left. With the circle around him is a fullback. He has no one to block. He's making the calls, and he'll pick up any free rushers. Again, a great snap, good protection. Punter has plenty of time. Ball's away. Coach Cox, what do we have here?
This will be a 4-man look to both sides, kind of like we telestrated earlier on the screen. As you can see, all the men are blocked, and we have the center is a free release guy.
So there's a lot of calls that tell you when to block and when to free release. One other look, perhaps the best of the day. You can see making calls here. How many blockers do we have here, Coach?
There'll be 5 to the right, and there'll be 5 to the left.
Ball snapped, great protection, ball's away. Now it's time to go down and cover and make the tackle. As you saw from that game tape, that takes a lot of practice. That's very coordinated movements by a lot of guys, a lot of people making calls and communicating to one another. A lot of practice goes into that. A lot of coaching goes into that by Coach Cox and our other coaches who work with the punt team. Coach, thanks for being on today.
Yes,
and now let's go to Rangers Trivia.
This week in Rangers Trivia, under Coach Hill, Smithson Valley has lost its district opener just 7 times in the last 23 years coming into the 2016 season. And how many of those seasons have the Rangers managed to earn a playoff spot? Is the answer A, 4, B, 5, or C, 6? The answer is B, 5. In fact, the last 5 times the Rangers have lost their district opener, they have still powered their way into the postseason. The last time Smithson Valley failed to reach the playoffs after losing its first district game was more than 20 years ago in 1995. So yeah, again, that streak goes back to 1995, the last time the Rangers lost a district opener and did not qualify for the postseason. So Coach, over the years, your message to your football team has always been, win or lose, move on to the next one. The message has to be the same again.
Well, it is, and it's an obvious. I mean, it's a given. I think anybody would understand that, but still a message you have to drive home because kids get disappointed, coaches get disappointed, but really all the goals you're out are still on the table. Are you talking about district championship? Are you talking about making the playoffs, advancing in the playoffs? That's all still out there, and whether we'd have won last Friday or not, or if we would have won as opposed to not winning, our approach this week would be the same.
And that approach would be taking on East Central, a game coming up this Friday, and a game we're going to preview coming up next here on Inside Rangers Football.
This November, vote for a man who knows how to be an American in America for Americans. Vote for Coach Hill for President of the United States. He's not afraid of anything.
And then the ninjas come out of the forest.
Ninjas?
Who wouldn't vote for a president who had ninjas in their video?
But I don't want to be the president.
But you're from Texas, Coach, and that makes you a shoo-in. I'll make sure to put that in the video.
But it doesn't matter, because I don't want...
I know! We should get John Wayne to be in your video.
John Wayne?
I can hear it now. The new president of the United States of America is...
Whoa. I just have to say that if I was president, I couldn't coach football anymore.
Well then, I'm officially resigning as your campaign manager and vice president.
Okay then.
Coach, how tall do you think you have to be to run for president?
This political ad was paid for by Wick Productions. Watching a video is just better than reading stuff.
Welcome back to Inside Rangers Football. Coming up this Friday, Smithson Valley will look to even its season and district record as they take on the East Central Hornets. East Central comes in with a record of 1-3. They have lost 3 straight, including their district opener to Clemens this past Friday. Coach, you look at the Hornets, and yes, they're struggling a little bit right now, but as you and I know, wins and losses don't always really tell the story of a football team. What are your impressions about East Central?
Very fundamentally sound. Not trying to trick you on defense, on offense, or in the kicking game, trying to be good at what they do, which I can appreciate because that's kind of our philosophy as well. And hard-nosed, going to run the ball right at you with their good running back. Be content to grind it out until he pops one. And you look at their games, they've scored quite a number of points, and history would suggest eventually he'll get loose. So we've got to prevent that.
That good running back is Jawan Hall. He's averaging nearly 100 yards a game, over 8 yards a carry. This is a run-oriented offense. How difficult is it to prepare for an offense like East Central's?
Well, it's not and it is. Not to sound contradictory, but they're not terribly fancy. So to get lined up right and to know what's coming is not hard. To stop it is. And just like anything, the more you do something and the less you do of all the other extras, you get really good at it. And their offensive line does a tremendous job of just keep banging against the dam until it bursts. And so that's the challenge. I don't think we're going to not know what they're doing. It's, can we consistently defend it? Not in every snap. You say, well, we defended all well except for 3 plays. Well, those 3 plays could be 21 points.
Yeah. Looking at the other side of the football, how do you feel like you match up against their defense?
Well, defensively, they're a 3-man front, which I guess 3 of our 4 games has been that. They're a little bit different in their secondary, but much like their offense, not trying to be terribly tricky. This is how we line up. Can you move it on us? And so I think we're going to have to be patient. We probably need to do a little bit better job with our short passing game and in our power running game. They've had their moments the last 2 weeks, but we need to have consistent drives. And I think offensively we need to come out of the gate well. Last 2 weeks we've struggled in the first quarter.
This is the 3rd time in 4 games you'll have played on the road to open this season. As you look at game day, preparations and the logistics, how much different is a road game compared to playing in the comforts of home?
Well, it is different. You've got to factor in travel time, of course. This one's even more different in the sense that we don't have school on Friday with the Fair Day holiday. So, you're kind of out of your normal flow routine, and then you do have to travel. But we try to keep things as much as similar as possible, home or road. And so the kids, when they arrive at the stadium, they're doing the things that they're familiar with. Still trying to get in a routine, still only played 3 games. As much as it seems like a long season, we're still just in the middle of September, and we're still kind of finding ourselves.
Any other keys, Coach, you could break down for us ahead of Friday's game?
Well, I think we've got to be a little more explosive. We had a few explosives the other night, but we need to win the explosives. Man, we got to cut down on penalties. We had motion penalties. Pass interference penalties, those are drive killers, or in their case, and on defensive side, drive sustainers. So we've got to do that and find a way to get more takeaways. We had 1, but we need more. We need to +2, +3 that. And those are old football axioms. There's a reason they're old football axioms. They are true. They were true 50 years ago. They'll be true 50 years from now. So we've got to buy into that and make that happen on the field.
Smithson Valley takes on East Central at 7:30 this upcoming Friday on the road. Live coverage will be available on the Rangers Network, courtesy of Rangers Radio, starting at 7:15. And if you can't make it out to the game on Friday, we will have the live television replay available for you this Sunday at 6 at Max's Roadhouse for the watch party. So be sure to come out and check that out. By the way, there are 3 other 27 6A district games this week. And for more on those in this week's district picks, here's Dr. Ferris and Dr. Hembry.
Thanks, Brent. I'm Tyler Ferris.
And I'm Megan Hembry.
And we are Ferris Orthodontics. And these are your Week 5 picks of the week.
Line them up.
Okay, my Week 5 pick, Judson Rockets, Steele Knights in Lindhoff Stadium. It'll be a close one. A tough Week 2 for Judson. I'm going with Steele all the way.
My Week 5 picks are between the Clemens Buffaloes and the Wagner Birds of Thunder. My pick this week is I'm going to have to go with the Buffaloes again. These Birds of Thunder, I think they've lost a little bit of that thunder, so we're going to go with them.
Okay, before we get to the Week 5 game of the week, we've got the worst bowl. Canyon, New Braunfels, the Cougars, the My Little Pretty Ponies. It's all Coach Mooch and the Cougars.
Nay! Oh.
Here it is, your Week 5 game of the week. Smithson Valley Rangers traveling to East Central. This is Coach Hill's alma mater. Goes back to face the Hornets. This is all Ranger domination. No match, game over, enough said.
Yep, I think the Rangers sting the Hornets on this one. We're going to go with the Rangers. Back to y'all.
Well, I guess the good news there is that obviously Dr. Hembry and Dr. Ferris like the Rangers, but they're picking them to beat your alma mater, Coach, your former East Central Hornet yourself.
Yeah, I'll know both alma maters this week. I could sing either song this week. I always cheer for those guys. There's 3 schools I have tremendous loyalty to. East Central's one of them, of course, my college, the university, and then Smithson Valley. But they're not in that order. Smithson Valley's first. So the Hornets need to lose this week if we can make that happen.
Well, again, Smithson Valley East Central this Friday at 7:30. For more on that game and everything Smithson Valley, be sure to text the word Rangers to the number 42828 for updates on everything Rangers athletics. Well, Coach, that's going to do it for this week's show. We'll see you at East Central.
All right, thank you, Brandon.
For Coach Hill, I'm Brant Freeman. Thanks for watching. We'll catch up with you again next week.